Hey guys, we just shot a class on Facebook Live talking about the Pepetools Disc Cutter.
This is one of my all-time favorite tools for cutting perfect circles, for cutting sections out of circles to make washes or moons. Or, you know, if you mess up a piece and instead of throwing it in the recycling bin, find a little blank spot and tuck it in there and cut the perfect circle out. So I'm going to demonstrate how to use it. We also show a whole bunch of different designs. Remember, this was shot as a Facebook Live, so we're chatting to people live. That was a while ago if you're watching this on the replay, but enjoy the content and let's get into the video.
Let's check it out.
This is the disc cutter right here. This is the plates that it cuts through. It comes with this absorbent or shock absorbent pad, this red thing. I like to put it on my sandbag because this is really, really loud, especially on camera and on this particular table.
Yes.
Actually, at my bench, I put it on the floor because I have a nice hard floor. It's not carpet. I just put it on the floor and bang out whatever I want to bang out. But we discovered yesterday it works really well in the sandbag, but I'm worried about doing it like that on the sandbag because I don't want to cut. You hammer really hard, and I don't want that to like go into the leather and maybe injure my sandbag. So put that on top and then that.
Smart. I like it.
So the best thing about this cutter is the fact that the plates raise up and go down with this little knob. So if I open it, you can see the gap is opening there. And if I close it, they go down. So that holds whatever you're punching really, really sturdy in there. This is an economy disc cutter that I've had for a while. That's my favorite doorstop because it doesn't work. When they have a big gap like that, I mean, I don't like to say this tool will never work. It doesn't work for me. I hate it. This gap like this, when you punch it through, it ends up sort of denting the metal through and then punching it so it doesn't come out really, really flat and nice. I have another one because I get all excited when I see these, like Mel said, like, oh, a more economical disc cutter, let's carry it. I have another one that the punch is stuck in here and I can't get it out at all. I mean, and I've tried everything, so that's sucks.
Yeah, we do test, we get the samples and we test all of them because we'd love to be able to carry something else, but this is the one that Lisa puts her stamp of approval on.
I do, that's a good one, Mel. Okay, so here are the punches that come with it as well as some cut lube, and they all coincide to the different circles. So like right here I have the 1/2 inch and it goes in there. Okay, so the larger part right here is the part that goes in first. And then it's a little bit dark on the back. That's the part that you hit. So don't do it like that. That would be a bummer. And plus, you'll know it because it doesn't fit well. Put the larger part, the wider part, and if you look from an angle, it's cut at a little bit of an angle. That's how it gets the cutting action. That goes in first. I mean, first you put your metal in, but I'm just showing you how to. So all these guys have a little home, so everything stays nice and organized, which is really awesome.
Oh, I like that.
But let's get to it. So I've got a piece of scrap metal here. This is 24 gauge copper. And let's say I wanted to cut this guy right here, 5/8.
And what gauge can you cut up to?
18 gauge.
18 gauge, okay.
But not in stainless. Stainless is a whole different beast. I think that limits at like 22.
Okay, and I think we say that on the site too.
Yeah. So put it in to wherever you're wanting to cut. Like let's say, all right, let's say that I wanted to cut out this camper right here. I mean, ignore all the stuff around it. Actually, let's try to do that in a hole that...
You will only see the camper?
Yeah.
I like that.
Like I meant to do it, which I didn't. All right, so it's in the hole. And now I'm going to close down this. The other thing you want to do is take another 24 gauge and put it in the other side like a shim so that it holds the two sides level.
Oh, cool. Does that probably help protect the cutter too? So
I'm going the wrong way. There we go.
Be kind of off kilter?
I think so. Yeah. Okay, so now I have it down closed tight. I don't like crank it, but it's holding everything. See? Then get the right size punch, which I believe is that guy right there. And I'm going to use a 2-pound hammer. I love this hammer for this. You don't have to have a 2-pound brass hammer. You can use a nail pounding hammer, you can use a mallet, you can use a sledgehammer, whatever you want. But this is what I have and this is what I like to use. So it's in there. I might move it a little bit to the middle of the pad. Now I'm going to strike it a couple of times. Okay. So I felt it go through. I see it sunk down, so I'm just going to pick up the whole situation.
Oh,
and
wow.
out comes the tool.
You made that look really easy.
It is easy. It's really easy.
Wow.
And now I have this little guy.
That's so cute.
So that is, you know, one great thing about this is if you have screwed something up, like this is just our testing thing that we use when we get stamps in. I just happen to have that on there, but let's say I wanted to cut out like that fan looks pretty good. I would do the same thing. Find a spot that it fits in. That's pretty good. Put the punch. Oop. That one's a little bit smaller.
Wow.
Wow. And it's nice and flat.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, it really is that easy. Now, with larger ones, it takes a little more oomph, which makes sense. So let's say I wanted to do an inch. And that's the largest it goes to is an inch. This is the wider part of my punch, and it's cut at a slight angle. That's the dark end. So I'm going to insert that. This is going to take a little more muscle. There it goes.
Wow, and I like that you can kind of feel it when it does kind of drop down.
Yeah, definitely. It punches through. And this is really nice. Like, it's not sharp at all. Yeah, it's a fantastic tool. Kudos to Tony, the owner of Pepetools. So, let's see. So one thing I wanted to show you, well, I just showed you, but let's say, like, I have this piece here that I was making a half heart, and I did a heart and an L, and then I tried to do the radiant heart, and it jumped. I jacked it up. So with things like this, especially if they're sterling, find an empty spot and punch out, you know, a circle that maybe you'll use another time. That is a little too big. Sorry, I'm trying to get over the top of it. There, that's good.
Stacy was wondering, is this a more economical way of doing it rather than just purchasing your circle blanks?
I'm not sure. I don't think so, unless you like. There's a gal, Jen, my friend Jen, who has tons and tons of copper, recycled copper from roofing. For her, it's definitely more economical because she got this metal for free.
Right.
So she just bangs this out. And Jen, if you're watching, say hey. So if you have a good price on your metal, then maybe. But there's a lot of you know, work involved. So it kind of depends on. Do you want to do the work and save a little money? Is it possible? Did you get a good price on the sheet? Or just buy the stuff and have it ready to go?
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a good way to be able to use your materials that maybe were scraps. They don't have to be scraps, right?
Like this one, if it was sterling, I would not throw it in the sterling pile. I'd try to get as many circles out of it. Mm-hmm. And this, I'm not doing the stamped part. I just want a blank circle. And then just throw it in a pile for you to use some other day.
That's smart.
Right? You know,
Yeah.
So let's see. The metal. Let's get it out of there. I could maybe do, I mean, they go really small, so I could get one out of here, I could get one out over there. So, you know, use your materials and then just start a little pile. And next time I want to do a little copper charm, I already have my circle ready.
I love it.
Because I cut it from something I jacked up, which maybe I meant to jack it up so I could cut stuff.
Right.
Okay, so I wanted to show you a project in our book, New Stamped Metal Jewelry, that I wrote with Taryn. And this project, she used the disc cutter. And what she did was she took a plaque, just like this, cut that bit out, and she liked that because it was a profile in the exact arc of a big round circle that she made out of fine silver wire. I think it's fine silver. Mm-hmm. So it lined up perfect, and then she sort of stitched it on with wire. So that's cool. That's how, I mean, sure, you could cut that with a saw, you could cut it maybe with shears, but this gave her the perfect circle because she used the disc cutter.
Especially for two. That's what I love. That, like, if you're trying to do it with the shears, the fact that you have to get them both the same way for earring.
Right. So I'm not sure which one she used, but let's assume it was the inch. So let's say on this guy,
I gotta say, Ruth from Australia said the only good thing about getting up at 5 a.m. to go to work is watching you guys live. I love that, Ruth.
That is the cutest.
Oh, I mean, I love that, Ruth.
Oh, good one, good one. Here she goes with the accents.
Okay,
Okay, so you can either eyeball it, like I was sort of scooting it in going, okay, great, perfect. Or you can take your punch and lay it on and find out exactly where you want to make your cut and do a line. It's very important that you use a blue Sharpie. Not really.
No.
That's all I got.
Really?
So let me show you. I've got my line there. Can't really see it too well. It's pretty light, but I can see it. And I'm going to scoot it in here to exactly where my line is. Maybe just inside of it. There we go. And then tighten it down. So what I'm showing you here is, I don't have 18 gauge for the shim for the other side. I'll use this. Is how you can use this to cut portions of blanks out. So you can see what's going on in there. That's what I'm going to cut out. Although, no, that doesn't look right. It shifted.
Yeah, it looks kind of a little bit off. Which I love that fact that you could do off ones if both of them were off. Like, this is so interesting. And you can use that inside piece, too.
Yep.
Can you make washers with this?
Yep. You sure can.
That, I think, is
Okay,
so
I'm ignoring
smart.
my line because and my shim fell out, but I'm really not that concerned about it because I don't want to scratch that up. Where's my punch? Here we go.
Yeah, I love the idea that you could make the circle inside the washer any size you want. Like if there isn't a washer out there, you could do a tiny circle with a really inside with a big, starting out with a big blank.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. So
That's cool.
this you could do anything with. I mean, I showed you what Taryn did. You could poke 2 holes right here. This could be a chain. Somehow you could utilize this. Maybe there's a jump ring between that and that. I mean, use the piece, right, and flip it around. Maybe something happens over here. That's kind of interesting.
I love that. Show him my earring where there was something very similarly she did where she did.
So I think she cut this shape
Yes.
out of aluminum sheet, and then she punched a perfect hole in the middle.
Yes.
It's scalloped on the edge because of the way she stamped it. She stamped it really hard so it pushed the metal out, and she's really good at getting that perfect. And these are super, super light.
Oh, very, very light.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're fun. So I was messing around, and I made an off-center
I like
washer.
the off-center.
And when you do that, if you do it out of, blank metal or just clean metal, you have 2 pieces now. And that's what, when we buy washers from our supplier, we buy the circles that came out of the middle.
Yeah.
Because they come out perfect. So there's that. You can make that. Let's see, what else did we want to show?
I do even like that you could I like the idea that you can layer with, especially when you're looking at aluminum or something really lightweight.
Yeah,
Yes, that
you can
right
do
there with
different
the jump
shapes.
ring, there's your earring.
Yeah, definitely, or all the different shapes.
Or imagine if you had 5 of those as a bib necklace.
yes.
That would be beautiful.
Or if you did bigger and then smaller.
Yes.
I love on Facebook Live, we just start going and going with ideas.
I know, it makes me want to make the projects right afterward.
So this is something that I made, actually, I think it was on last week's Facebook Live. We made it into that necklace. Remember, I cut a
Yes.
circle out of the middle? So I'll do it on this piece, too. I'm just going to randomly pick a size here. I think that's a 7/8. Oh, one thing I should mention, which I didn't do it because I always forget, is you want to use a little bit of the cut lube and just put it through like that. It keeps your cutters sharp.
Oh, that's smart.
Cutters meaning your punch, and it cuts through easier. Sorry, I meant to show that earlier. Use your cut lube, people. So that's an interesting shape. I mean, I could even take one and cut it out here.
Yes.
Let's just get crazy. I don't really know what I'm doing at this point, but I'm going to cut this out from that side. And also, if you make something that you have one little messed up part, cut it out. Cut it out.
You're right, and then you have another shape. It looks like what you're making is...
I don't know what I'm making.
This could be a keychain, a.k.a. a parking lot weapon for your girlfriends for a Christmas gift,
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can see there's different things you could do with this. I would file this so they're
I do
not
think that's
sharp. And, you know, also you can use the other bits for something else.
Yeah.
If I had something maybe like this,
Oh, I love that.
you know, so just get crazy. What I do want to point out is for sure stamp first before you cut. I think we talked about that last week. Because if I cut the perfect, I mean, yes, you can cut your perfect shape out and then stamp, but see how I have all the lines perfectly stamped here? You know, if I had stamped this right there, it would have distorted the metal and pushed it out a little bit, but because I stamped first and then cut it, it leaves everything in the perfect spot.
Tina had said, I never thought of cutting a partial circle out of some of these blanks, and I hadn't thought of that either, Tina, until they did the book, and when I started seeing these shapes like that, I think I like that even better than just cutting the circles.
Yeah, and what the most popular one is to do a moon shape. So let's look at that. Let's get this guy in. This might work. I'm just randomly picking one. I don't know if that's the perfect. I lost a punch. Where's this guy? That's not one. Oh, there it is.
Oh.
So I'm just putting it on the edge.
Oh, it almost looks like you can make leaves too, really.
Yeah.
Because you made I love the moon. That's so cute. And I
mean,
like the leaf.
I think Taryn did this in the book where she then used this and connected it.
That's really cute earring.
Yeah, super cute. Look at that. So it's the same shape and the same, you know, profile there, but
And I love the idea that you can
separate it
stamp your
out.
whole circle and then actually have it totally match.
yeah, you can make this into a moon shape by using maybe a smaller one that cut in more.
Oh, yeah.
The key is having a solid surface underneath you. So if this was my bench and I was not worried about noise, I would put it right here over the leg. So with stamping or anything else, the most sturdy part of your table is over the leg. And over the leg, you know, it's like being on a stump. So the sturdier the table, the better it's going to punch through because you have that resistance. If you're on something bouncy, it's going to be really hard. Again, I put it on the floor. Putting it on the concrete is awesome. Like, that works really well. And just having a little bit of weight behind your hammer is key.
So you'd like a household hammer or the 2 or 1 pound hammer, but you would not suggest like a chasing hammer or a...
Oh, no. The
Plastic.
chasing hammer
Okay.
is way too light.
Okay.
And it'll just totally tear up your chasing hammer.
I have a question about the cutter. Will it rust?
It's tool steel like anything else, so don't get it wet, and keep everything, to preserve these, keep everything coated in a little bit light layer of oil. In fact, it comes with instructions, a big sheet of instructions, and it says to store it by laying like an oil-soaked cloth over the top of it. Mine has never rusted, and it's out in the elements, but I don't live by the coast or anything, but it's not a bad idea just to keep everything layered in a little bit of oil, just like you would your stamps or any other tool.
And
steel.
I know that Taryn's has some rust and it still works very well.
Yeah, and we have an episode you can look back in our archives on the Facebook page under videos where we talk about how to remove the rust. So even if I wanted to do something like this, like I could cut out the very, very center and try to get it centered right on those fans, and it would be kind of cool. It'd be like a washer.
Yeah, and then you could even put that circle part on top and connect it with a jump ring, and it'd be like a really cool earring with the middle up above it.
Yes. So in that case, I'm going to go a little bit wide so you pick up a little bit of the pattern.
I like that.
It's super fun. So keep it, though, to your soft metals, your jewelry metals. Don't try to be popping through something steel. You know, it's going to dull these guys. I'm not sure if they can be sharpened. I can find out if you need to. But preserve them by keeping a little bit of oil on them and using the cut lube.
Which it comes with anyway.
It comes with all of this. It comes with this. It comes with this guy, obviously, the cut lube, and instructions, and all that good stuff.